After Scream 3, it was 11 years until the fourth entry in the franchise. Scream 4 came out in 2011. Wes Craven returned, Neve Campbell returned, David Arquette returned, Courtney Cox. It was wild to think that these characters were back over 15 years after the original Ghostface stalked the streets of Woodsboro in Scream, 1996. The franchise finally returns to Woodsboro, bringing the carnage back in full force. This movie seemingly came out of nowhere. It was announced just about a year before the release, and that Wes Craven was returning along with the legacy characters. It was quite a surprise after many of us thought the franchise had wrapped up with Scream number 3. I mean, but horror franchises, are they ever really done? Scream 4 takes place 15 years after the original Woodsboro killings. Sidney Prescott returns to her hometown as Ghostface strikes again, targeting both a new generation of teens and the familiar legacy characters. True to the franchise, the film blends suspense, a clever whodunit, and meta horror commentary, this time riffing on modern horror trends, social media, and the idea of horror reboots. The movie brings back the classic slasher thrills while giving fans a fresh take on the self-aware, rule-breaking style the series is known for. Now, I mentioned that I didn't think Scream 3 was the worst in the franchise in a previous video. I think Scream 4 is, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's just that the story this time felt like they wanted to resurrect the franchise for the sake of resurrecting the franchise. That said, I'm grateful, because I love the Scream franchise. The core three, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette are all back, and they're really good in their roles. They bring a real sense of history every time they're on screen, even if they aren't the new characters driving the story. The story is largely driven by a new generation of Woodsboro teens, including Jill Roberts, Kirby Reed, and Charlie Walker. These characters bring fresh energy, modern sensibilities, and a new perspective on horror, while Sidney, Gale, and Dewey provide the legacy continuity fans love. The opening sequence is kinda campy, but I did like it. It's meta, it's funny, but it leans a little too far into the comedic, but it brings Ghostface back in a great way. The Ghostface kills in this one are pretty good. There's one scene specifically where he murders a girl in her bedroom and it's brutal. It's bloody, blood spattering the walls, and it kinda harkens back to the tone of the original film, which I love. The weakest part of this movie for me is the new characters, especially the Ghostface killer, or killers. Their motivations didn't really work for me, though they're not terrible. They definitely don't measure up to what Billy and Stu did in the original, or even Billy's mother and Timothy Olyphant's character from Scream 2. Scream 4 really is the outlier of the series, not Scream 3 in my opinion. It simplifies the story, goes back to basics, and returns the action to Woodsboro. It hits some of the same themes as the original Scream, but it doesn't quite measure up. That said, I do like it, and I'd suggest watching it if you're a fan of the franchise or just a fan of slasher movies, because it's a lot of fun. This franchise was in a weird place back in 2011. It unexpectedly popped up with a fourth movie after 11 years of being dormant. Then, because it sort of failed at the box office, it was the first Scream movie not to open with I think over like 20 million. It went back into hibernation for another 11 years, until 2022's Scream, or Scream 5, its unofficial title. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, take care, bye-bye.